Hi friends, welcome to our third class. Our third class is regarding the qualitative and the quantitative research. So, in these classes, we are going to learn what is the difference between the qualitative and the quantitative research and what are the advantages and the disadvantages will be coming under the qualitative and the quantitative research. If you like these classes, please do like, share with your friends and subscribe for more classes. Let's discuss regarding the qualitative and the quantitative research. So, in previous classes, I told that quantitative research is a scientific research. So, why we are calling it as a scientific research means, so we are following in particular systematic and order way. We are by in a systematic and orderly, we are conducting the study that comes under the quantitative. Coming to here qualitative, so here qualitative means just it is a field of process of inquiry like a cross-cut disciplines. It doesn't shows the actual disciplines, so according to the situations it acts as a showing the discipline. Let's see the definition of the quantitative research. Quantitative research is defined as a systematic investigation of phenomena by gathering quantifiable data and performing statistical, mathematical, or computational techniques. So, here already we know that it is a scientific or systematic investigations. So, means scientific means systematic investigations of the phenomena like based upon the testing a theory or composed of the variables or numbers analyzed using in a statistical techniques. So in this type of the research, what the researcher will be doing means the data is collected by the researcher in a numerical form and analyzed by the using descriptive or inferential statistics. So these will be coming in your inferential statistics will be coming in your statistics subject. And quantitative research involves the analysis. Whatever the data was collected by the researcher, that should be analyzed of the numerical data. So here the quantitative research, it already offers the process, one of the process whereby the evidence will be going on like a after the going on the process evidence that should be evaluated and the theories should be sent for the hypothesis, particular hypothesis of the topic like mathematical or the statistical or the computational techniques. So by these quantitative research only the researcher can able to design what is his study, either it may be experimental or quasi experimental or non experimental. So under the quantitative research only, so there are the three types of the designs. So our study is based upon the quantitative research. So by these quantitative research our study will be divided into the three types of the designs. So either it may be experimental or quasi experimental or non experimental. There are the three types of the research designs. First one is the experimental research design, and the second one is the quasi experimental research design, and the third one is the non experimental research designs. So these designs will be coming under only the quantitative research study. So these research designs unit, there is a particular unit for the research design unit. So later in next classes we used to discuss regarding the designs. So this is the quantitative research. So here the researcher will be gathering the information, and whatever the information gathered by the researcher, that should be performing by the statistical or the mathematical computational techniques. So after the computational techniques that should be sent for the evaluation. So after sending the evaluation, so same dividing framing the hypothesis, and that should be technical advances should be made in this quantitative research. Then coming to the qualitative research. Qualitative research, here see the definition of the qualitative research. Qualitative research refers to a method of inquiry in which the researcher acting as data collection instrument. So here the researcher will be acting as a data collection instrument, seeks to answer questions about how or why a particular phenomenon occurs. Questions regarding of what phenomena is comprised may also guide qualitative research. So here the researcher may acting, just the researcher will be acting as a data collection instrument. So why he used to act as a data collection instrument? To seek the answers to the questions for the particular phenomena, means like a particular situation. So here already we told that qualitative research is a field of inquiry, so that cross cuts the discipline. Quantitative is that follows the disciplines, but here cross cuts the discipline and the subject matter. So here it involves the in-depth, here it involves the in-depth understanding of the human behavior and the reasons of the human behavior. Here in this qualitative research, the data will be, whatever the data will be collected in a descriptive form rather than the numerical form. In quantitative, the data will be collected in a numerical form, but here in qualitative, the data will be collected in a descriptive manner. Why here data will be collecting in a descriptive manner means, so descriptive coding and the indexing will be giving to this kind of the qualitative studies. So here the qualitative study same, it also involves the analysis of data, like a words or the pictures, whatever we have to include, so we can able to include. So here these are the, we can able to call it as a methods of research or the classification of the research according to the methods. So research methods or the techniques used by the researcher. So these methods or the techniques will be performed by the only the researcher. Mainly why the technique should be used by the researcher means to structure a study. To structure a study means to frame a study in a particular manner. Then the second one is that to gather and analyze the information. So gathering and the analyzing of the information, that should be in a order manner, so which will be relevant to the particular research problem. So whatever the data is collected by the researcher, that should be must and should be relevant to the study. So the alternative methods, there are the two alternative methods in the research. So first one is the quantitative research method and the second one is the qualitative. Just you have to remember the same words, but here the quantity, here the quality, means quantitative research, and the second one is the quantitative and the qualitative. See, quantitative is a scientific process, mainly goes in it will be running in a systematic and orderly manner. Coming to the qualitative, that just it is a field of work. So here the researcher or the someone else used to cut the disciplinic manner. So here it is also called as a qualitative method. So got it, the difference between the qualitative and the quantitative. Let's see the difference between the qualitative and the quantitative data. See here, quantitative research and the qualitative research. So already from the starting only I am telling that quantitative is a scientific, systematic, orderly study. Coming to the qualitative, it is a just like a preferably, means peripherally they are preferring the study. See, first one is the structured data. Whatever the data collected by the researcher, that should be in a structurably manner. So name, age, sex, religion, then coming to the family status, marital status. So this is in a structured data. Either if they want to collect the data from the samples, so they used to collect in a structured manner. So here coming to the qualitative, unstructured manner, there is no order, there is no manner, there is no proper way to collect the data. So this is the first point. Then coming to the second one, statistical analysis. So here in previous slide what we have discussed, the quantitative data will be showing the technical analysis, statistical analysis, tabulations, computations. So here the statistical analysis, the quantitative research study will be showing the statistical analysis. So here there is no statistical analysis. Directly they used to summarize the topic or summarize the data which the researcher have been collected. Then coming to the third one, objective conclusions. So here they used to give the conclusions. Already for each subject they used to each subject or the each study they used to write the 3 objectives. So here the either the objectives are fulfilled by the researcher or not, they used to give the conclusion regarding the objectives. So here coming to the subjective conclusions, so how the researcher has done and how the samples has done. So they doesn't see the did the objectives are fulfilled or not, just they used to observe the subjects, means samples conclusion, they used to give the subjects conclusion. Then coming to the second next last and the final one, so here they used to perform the surveys experiments. So quantitative means scientific method, like experiments, study, pre-test, post-test. During between the pre and post-test they used to give one of the experiment, like the structure teaching program or something experiment, like if the people are suffering with the hypertensions, and then their experiment is performing or monitoring the blood pressure. They used to monitor the blood pressure during the in between the periods of the pre and post test. So this is the surveys and the experiment. Survey, so how much the people are suffering, how many people are suffering with the hypertension, they used to conduct the survey. Then coming to here, interviews, focus groups and observation. So directly they doesn't focus on the, they doesn't conduct the any surveys, they doesn't conduct the any experiments. Directly they used to conduct the interviews and the observations, or the focusing on the group. By that they used to finish the study. This is the difference between the quantitative and the qualitative research. Then coming to the see the examples of the quantitative and the qualitative research. So see here, quantitative will be in a structured manner and it should be in a orderly manner. It should be showing the particular conclusions, particular objectives of the study. Then last it will be performing the experiments. So here the see quantitative research forms, see steps will be the showing the applications and the closed-ended questions. So closed-ended question means have you finished your lunch? So did you have any time to speak? So like closed-ended or open-ended questions. Then coming to the intelligent question test, they used to perform the intelligent question test. And then next measurements according to the subject or according to the samples or according to their study. So this is the examples of the quantitative research. Then coming to the qualitative research. So here the qualitative research, they used to give the direct summarize the topic. So here the like diary accounts or the documents reviews, they used to perform open-ended questions. So see here, I later in next classes or coming classes I will be explaining the what is the meaning of the open-ended questions and what is the meaning of closed-ended questions. This will be coming in your data collection class or 5th unit of the research. So that they in that unit these two questions are the important. So here just this we are seeing the examples. Coming to here, unstructured interviews and the unstructured observations. Unstructured means there is no proper plan, there is no proper guidance, there is no proper advice by the elders or by the experts. Means by their own performance, by their own talent, they are preparing the questionnaires, they are observing the samples. These are the different examples which will be showing for the qualitative and the quantitative research. See, in quantitative research, so to conduct the study there are the two methods. The researcher must have to take the steps of the the researcher should follow the two steps. So before conducting or before gathering the information, the researcher takes the systematic information which is the relevant to the his or her study, which will be taken by the several steps or the plans of actions. That is the quantitative research. So under the quantitative research, what there is a one of the method that is called as a, there is a one of the important method and the important step that is the that comes for the 2 marks for the 4th year B.SC Nursing students. And also not only in the research question paper, we used to observe these kind of the these kind of the questions in such kind of the like enter exams, like any enter like such kind of the aims or the entrance exam, we used to observe these kind of the questions. See, let's discuss about the I told that there is one of the important method which is presenting in the quantitative research. So that method is called as a logical reasoning. So by this method, the researcher should be aware of this kind of the method. So this is the important question. They may ask for the 2 marks. So if you write with the definition, and there are the 2 types of the reasonings which will be coming under the logical reasoning. If you write in detail, you may score full marks for this question. So see here, what is mean by logical reasoning. So here the logical reasoning is the process of using rational, systematic series of steps based on sound mathematical procedures and given statements to arrive at a conclusion. So here whatever the process the researcher is going to conduct, so he have to show for each step there should be a rational, means there should be a one of the use, there should be a one of the reason why the researcher is going to conduct this kind of the exam. So he have to give the particular reason, particular answer to that question. Systematic series of steps based on the sound mathematical procedures. So here logical reasoning will be following the particular mathematical procedures and given to the statements which should be arrived at a conclusion, and it is also process to collect the information and also knowing the information, logical reasoning. So coming to here, these definition will be useful for the in the research and at the same time in the statistics also. But coming to the another, just in a simply manner, it is a process to collect the information and knowing the information. This is also one of the definition. It is a process to collect the information and also not only the collecting the information, to gather the information. So this is also one of the definition for the or meaning for the logical reasoning. Then coming to the logical reasoning is divided into the 2 types of a reasoning. So first one is the deductive reasoning and second one is the inductive reasoning. Logical reasoning is a process to collect the information. Collecting the information and knowing the information is called as a logical reasoning. So the logical reasoning is divided into the 2 types. The first one is the deductive reasoning and the inductive reasoning. So here have you heard the word deductive reasoning and inductive reasoning? So because many of times we used to hear the reasoning. So nowadays we used to observe each and every person, each and every students, those who are preparing for the competitive exam, they used to speak always. So it is very hard to read the reasoning subject. So reasoning questions are the very hard to hear, very hard to fulfill those kind of the reasoning subjects. So here reasoning means completely involving of the mathematical solutions that should be in a systematic series, systematic order. So here logical reasoning means, so whatever the information the researcher is gathering from the samples, that should be in a systematic and the orderly manner. See here, the logical reasoning is the collection of the information and also the knowing the information. There are the 2 types of the reasoning. The first one is the deductive reasoning and the second one is the inductive reasoning. Let's see the deductive reasoning. So deductive reasoning, see here where the arrow mark is showing, so here deductive reasoning is the process which develops the specific prediction. So special or specific, it develops the specific predictions from the general principle or specific cases from the general cases. Means just you remember, specific to general is called as a deductive reasoning. See here, deductive reasoning, just see here which the arrow mark is showing. So from the specific reasoning or specific area or specific prediction to general principle, this is called as a deductive reasoning. See, like for example, specific means generally specifying or teacher or someone else specifying me only, specifying this topic. If any topic will be coming in your classes, if it is important, the teacher or the researcher will be specified that topic more than twice or the thrice. So here deductive reasoning means specific principle or specific predictions to the general general principle. That is called as a deductive reasoning. So here specific to generalization means, like generally if we assume the separation of the anxiety hospitalized children. Generally if we assume that we are going to separate the anxiety hospitalized children. So the hospitalized children, generally what is his or her behavior? Generally whoever, either you or we or either someone else, if we are hospitalized in the hospital, then what is our attitude? We generally shows the anxiety. So here generalization is the children who is showing the anxiety, that comes under the general. So that we might predict the specific the children. So here who is the specific? Here predicting the children, like a predictioning of the children means like a specifying. See, once again I am telling that deductive reasoning means special to general, specific prediction to the general principle or the prediction. That is the deductive reasoning. It is a process of developing specific prediction from the general principles. Example, so just assume that separation anxiety occurs in a hospitalized children. General, it is a general manner. So that comes under the general principle. Then we might predict the specific children admitted in the hospital whose parents do not room in will or the manifest symptoms of the stressors. So here the specific means the whose admitted children, the children who are admitted in the hospital, the parents who doesn't having the rooming in, that is the specific, that we are specifying. See here general means hospitalized children will be each and every person, not only the children, each and every person, either the elder or either the younger, either the old age. Generally if we are hospitalized, generally what we used to get? Anxiety. That is a general principle. Coming to here special case means, so already the children who are admitted in the hospital, who are hospitalized in the hospital, the parents doesn't have the rooming in with the children. That is the special case, specialization prediction. This is the deductive reasoning. Then coming to the inductive reasoning. So this is the second reasoning of the logical reasoning. Inductive reasoning means it is the process of developing generalization from the specific principles. See here general to the specific. Just remember in a simple manner, deductive reasoning means specific to general. Coming to the inductive reasoning means general to specific. So just this is the difference, general to specific to general, deductive and the inductive. So coming to here in inductive, just imagine, for example, nurse. Already what is her duty? To observe the behavior of the hospitalized patients. So here nurse will be observing the anxious behavior of hospitalized children. So here what is the specific anxious behavior? Their anxious behavior is a very general. Coming to the here anxious behavior is the specific. And also concluded that in the children's separation from the parents is stressful. See here in deductive, general, what we are considering at general, those who are admitted in the hospitalized, their people will be having the anxiety. That is coming to the general. Coming to here specific means those people doesn't have rooming in with their parents, that leads to the specific case. That is the deductive. Coming to here inductive. So here what is the inductive? Generalization to the specific cases. So here the nurse is observing what nurse should observe? The patients or the children who are hospitalized, the person is having the anxious, that is the special. Then coming to here general, the parents, the patients or the children who was admitted in the hospital, they are doesn't having the rooming in with the parents, that is the very stressful, that is the general. Got it? So this is the difference between the deductive and the inductive reason. So inductive reasoning. So this is the important question for the 2 marks. So they may ask for the 2 marks. It is an important question. What is the difference between the deductive and the inductive reasoning? Or they may ask question like this also. What do you mean by logical reasoning? Logical reasoning is a process to gather the information and know the information. There are the two types of the logical reasoning. First one is the deductive, and the second one is the inductive. So what is mean by deductive and the inductive? Deductive means specialization to the generalization. Coming to the inductive, generalization to the specialization. So if you are assuming any kind of the cases, just example you can able to, in research we are having the chance to write many more examples. If you imagine and write, if you see and write, if you look at the community and write, whatever you write, but the example must be written in the answer. So this is the deductive and the inductive reasoning. Let's see the advantages and the disadvantages of the quantitative research. So we have, the researcher should keep in mind, so what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages while conducting the quantitative research study. So let's see the advantages of the quantitative research study. So here the advantages, let's see the advantages. So it is the specific research problem. So this is the one of the advantage for the researcher to conduct the study. See, specific research problem means, so here we are specifying the particular research problem statement. For example, vitamins and the mineral deficiency among the mothers with the under 5 children. So here we have specified that there is a vitamins and the mineral deficiency in the mothers, those who are having with the under 5 children only. They should not take the more than the 5 years or more than the 10 years. So what is the specific situation? So here the specific research problem. So this is the one of the advantage. Then coming to the second one is the clear independent and the dependent variable. So in quantitative research study, while we are going to conduct the study, after framing of the hypothesis, after showing the relationship between the two variables, so we can able to, the researcher can able to know the clear independent and the dependent variable. Then coming to the third one is the high reliability. So here whatever the researcher is going to conduct the study, that is in a completely genuine manner. Then last one, minimum personal judgment. See, the researcher has conducted the study on the vitamins and the mineral deficiencies among the mothers with the under 5 children. So here the after conducting the study, the researcher can perform the personal judgment, like how he has performed his study. Is it in a correct manner? Is it feasible for the samples? Is it feasible for the some other researcher or for me? So he used to judge himself or herself. So these are the advantages of the quantitative research. Then coming to the disadvantages. So what are the disadvantages? Limited outcomes due to structured methods. Yes, what is our limitation only the 30 of the samples you have to select. So if you are taking more than the 30, 31, or if you are taking less than the 30, 29, so it is not in a particular manner, particular order. So why we are taking the limited outcome means due to the structured method. Already you know that quantitative is a structured manner. So here we have to take the limited. So that is also one of the disadvantage, because if the people who are going to participate in the study, they are having the much interest towards the study, but more than the 30 or 31 or the 32, the other two members are interested to participate in the study. So what is our study sample size? We have to take only the 30 members. So there is no chance to take. So this is the one of the disadvantage. Then inability to control the environment. Yes, it is also truly one of the disadvantage for conducting the quantitative research. We should not control. It is not in our hands to control the environment. Then expensive, large number of respondents. So it is also a expensive, because we have to conduct we are performing the genuine study. So to conduct the genuine study, so we have to try hard and work level, our work level should be reached towards our according to our capacity. So here like a money or transportation, so like physically, mentally, or secularly, we used to take such kind of the expensive methods to conduct this kind of the quantitative research. Why we are calling it as expensive means, so here structured, so that should be in a orderly or step by step. So if we miss one step, so that doesn't comes under in a quantitative research. So these are the advantages and the disadvantages of the quantitative research. Then coming to the qualitative research. So like already you know that qualitative means just peripheral observing or the interviewing. So here let's see the advantages and the disadvantages of the qualitative. First we look into the advantages. It can provide full picture of answers and reason behind them. Like, so we can able to see the this is also one of the advantages. Full picture of answers they used the samples will be giving the genuine answers or the full picture answers behind them, like behind the people. Then it can be used to inform answers to the social issues. So here it is not only for the 30 group of the people, it also can be used for the such kind of the whatever the people has given the answers, that will be also useful such kind of the social issues. Then coming to the disadvantages. So it is not easy to compare. Yes, because it is not easy to compare means if we go in a particular scientific method, scientific systematic order, so we can able to compare with the others. So it is already not in a order or not in a systematic way, so we should not. It is also one of the disadvantage. Then maybe time consuming to analyze. So here directly they used to analyze, so it takes the time consuming to analyze. That is also one of the disadvantages. Then the next one, observer may be biased when interpreting. So why the observer may be biased means errors. They may be raising of errors in the study. Like interpreting means because there is no structured pattern, there is no structured observation, there is no structured questions, so misinterpretation will be raised. So if we are having particular kind of the 1-2 steps orderly, so the interpretation, the researcher what he is going to interpret, that will be in a good interpreting manner. So this is also one of the disadvantages of the qualitative and the quantitative research. So this is also important question they may ask for the 5 marks. What is the difference between the qualitative and the quantitative research? So these are the qualitative and the advantages and the disadvantages of the qualitative and the quantitative research. Hope you are understanding these classes. Please don't waste time, just put a short time and hear these classes again and again. If you are having any doubts, just ask me. I hope that you all are getting a good knowledge and good skills by these classes. All the nursing students are going to perform, are going to conduct the research study in a good and the genuine manner. Next class we will be discussing the evidence based practices. Then what are the problems will be raising while conducting the research. Then like scope and the areas of the nursing research. There are the more 3 or 4 topics in this unit. By that 4 topics, if we finish that topics, we used to finish our first unit of the research. Thank you all.